They tried to label you. They called you broken, wounded, or too intense. They saw the chaos you walked through and assumed it would swallow you whole. But they got it backward. The very darkness that was meant to destroy you actually became the foundation upon which your true power was built. You see, your light was never the fragile thing they imagined. It wasn't some delicate lamp lit in a safe, pristine room. Your light was a forge fire, born not in comfort or safety, but in the heart of the deepest storms, where soft purity alone is simply not enough to survive. You didn't emerge from a peaceful garden. You rose from a brutal, silent battlefield, where every single scar you earned became a sacred initiation. Even the angels, those magnificent beings of pure, unblemished light, look upon you with a mix of awe and a feeling they've never registered before. A genuine, unsettling fear. Why? Because you accomplished a spiritual feat that even heaven's design couldn't conceive. You voluntarily descended into the deepest shadows, walked right through them, and fundamentally refused to be consumed by the night. You held the raw, terrifying fire of duality in your hands without letting it turn your soul to ash. You embraced the dark, not as some punishment, but as your toughest teacher. Through this impossible journey, you evolved into something truly rare, a being whose essence transcends the simple definition of light. This is not a tale of spiritual failure or moral compromise. Let's be clear. This is the magnificent, often misunderstood unveiling of divine balance. You've reached a sacred, integrated state where the darkest shadows in your life became your greatest discipline, and every moment of pain you endured transformed into your most powerful protection. You are living, breathing proof that the Creator's master plan was never about remaining untouched or pure in a naive sense. The true goal was always about becoming whole, fully integrated and unbreakable. Every single scar on your spirit is not a blemish, but a seal marking your initiation into a higher order. Every tear you ever shed, the ones you cried in silence and in secret, was not a sign of weakness. It was a powerful, indelible signature on your divine contract with destiny. Understand this. The story of your shadow is the key to unlocking your future. It has always been your most vigilant guardian, never your enemy. Stay locked in until the very end, because the realization that's coming next will shatter your old perceptions and show you the true nature of your protection. This realization is everything. And once you fully grasp this truth, you will never, ever again, question the colossal scale of your power, the depth of your purpose, or the unique, undeniable place you hold among the divine hierarchy. If you feel this message not just in your mind, but vibrating in your very core, it's not an accident or a random thought, it is a powerful spiritual recognition. This is your soul answering the call. Take a moment to hit that like button right now, to energetically anchor this intense power into your reality. If your soul is feeling this deep awakening to the immense being you truly are, be sure to subscribe to join this tribe of integrated warriors. And here's your call to action. Comment 99 below. Why 99? Because the number 99 is the sacred mark of completion, the final lesson mastered just before you step into divine perfection. It's the crucial moment right before your full ascension. This is the universe's undeniable signal that you are almost there. You were not gently molded in some pristine paradise. Your soul was ruthlessly and deliberately forged in the intense collision of betrayal and rejection. You were shaped in profound silence, and through nights so long and dark that even the light of heaven seemed like a distant, forgotten memory. You are the persistent echo that absolutely refused to fade away in the crushing darkness. You are the tenacious fire that kept burning relentlessly, refusing to be extinguished when everything and everyone around you had long ago turned to ash and dust. This is your origin story. Every single heartbreak, every heartfelt but unanswered prayer, every soul-crushing moment when you truly believed it was finally over, none of it was ever about divine punishment. It was a precise, intense form of programming. This was the divine intelligence's ingenious method of forging a being that could withstand and carry a spiritual weight that ordinary, untested souls simply could not manage. You were forced to learn the most profound lesson, that your pain is not your ultimate enemy. It is, in fact, your divine sculptor. Pain has masterfully carved you, stripping away the inessential, transforming you into a vessel strong enough to carry the full weight of both boundless mercy and undeniable might. It relentlessly burned away all the comforting illusions you once held, the paralyzing dependencies you clung to, and every trace of weakness you once mistook for humility. What remains now, after that relentless fire, is pure essence, raw, unfiltered, and fundamentally unshakable. This essence is your true self. You eventually stopped the exhausting cycle of begging for peace from external forces and instead started embodying it from within. You came to the crucial realization that true serenity isn't merely the absence of all external chaos and struggle. True serenity is your sovereign, inherent ability to remain completely unshaken, unmoved, and centered, while standing directly in the volatile middle of the storm. You were deliberately built from the fabric of contradiction, and that, chosen one, is your immense, defining advantage. While others blindly search for only the light and, in their pursuit of naive purity, often lose their way, you learned a deeper truth, that authentic wisdom exists in the contrast. You understand intuitively that the divine hides its most profound secrets and wisdom at both ends of the spectrum. It's concealed in the softest whisper and the loudest thunder, in the paralyzing silence and the desperate scream. You know that to be whole, you must embrace the entire scale. The most pivotal shift came when you finally stopped running from your pain and had the courage to turn and face it head-on. In that single, transformative moment of confrontation, something ancient, powerful, and deeply primal finally awoke inside you. This is the moment you began to speak the complex, nuanced language of both realms, light and shadow. You developed the profound ability to sense deception or malice approaching long before any physical manifestation. You can now feel the subtle energy of deception before a single word is ever spoken, because your soul was forced to learn the deepest, most complex codes of reality, not from reading ancient, comfortable scripture, but directly from the crucible of raw survival. You became fluent in intricate energies that even celestial angels only study from a distance but can never truly embody because they haven't endured what you have. You don't just sense danger. You now possess an intrinsic, immediate understanding of it. You don't merely resist the seductive pull of temptation. You possess the sovereign power to instantly read its entire blueprint. This unique capability is precisely why your encompassing energy field feels so unsettlingly unpredictable to forces in both heaven and hell. You possess the terrifying ability to descend into the deepest void without ever getting lost. And you can ascend to the highest peak without letting pride consume you. You walk through dense shadows, but they can never claim you. The key distinction is this: you do not passively mimic the darkness you encountered. You actively command it. And this sheer sovereign command is the very thing that paralyzes and terrifies everything and everyone that once conspired to control you or use your light. Every single scar you carry, no matter how painful the memory, holds priceless instruction. Every tear you allowed yourself to cry has encoded data that is now stored within your spiritual system. Every gut-wrenching heartbreak you once thought completely shattered you was actually a crucial, rapid-fire rewiring of your core perception. It was training you to instantly detect absolute truth through pure frequency and resonance rather than being fooled by surface-level appearances. This elevated dual-sense perception is exactly what makes you spiritually untouchable. You no longer rely on your physical eyes to navigate. You see with the unerring clarity of your integrated spirit. The relentless forge of duality you pass through was never designed to make you superficially perfect or pristine. Its true higher purpose was to make you authentically real. Because in a world saturated with people hiding desperately behind superficial masks of performative light, genuine, unvarnished authenticity becomes the rarest and most potent form of divinity. And yet, as you stand resolutely in this hard-won truth, poised perfectly between heaven's blazing brilliance and the abyss's chilling depth, a profound and ancient energy begins to stir. A massive, cosmic force immediately recognizes the magnitude of your awakening. The very entities and energies that once relentlessly tested your soul are now forced to watch you in stunned, Total silence, frantically trying to calculate the true, unknowable scope of what you have irreversibly become. They know this for certain. If you successfully made it through that brutal forge and emerged whole and alive, the next monumental level of power you are about to tap into will fundamentally change everything for you and for the spiritual landscape itself. There came a specific, undeniable turning point, an epiphany in the darkness. When you finally realized the truth, your so-called dark side was never there with the intention to ruin you. It was there, all along, with the sacred purpose to absolutely protect you. It waited patiently in the profound background, an ultimate, silent guardian, often deeply misunderstood and rejected by your own self, but fundamentally loyal beyond any human or celestial measure. This shadow force was the raw, necessary energy that immediately rose up every single time a toxic individual dared to cross a sacred boundary. It was the cleansing, protective flame that burned through manipulation and deceit when your pure, untested light was simply too compassionate, too gentle, or too naive to effectively fight back. Your darkness never hated your light. It passionately, fiercely shielded it. When righteous rage finally moved through you, it was never destruction. It was pure, unadulterated divine defense. When you wisely withdrew your energy into a necessary, protective silence that was not motivated by fear, it was your spirit executing a brilliant, high-level strategy. Every single emotion you were once shamefully taught was sinful or negative always had a crucial, defining purpose. Every shadow impulse that briefly frightened you was an essential, vital part of your sophisticated spiritual immune system. The universe, in its perfect wisdom, knew that a pure, beautiful light without fierce, unwavering guardianship would inevitably be devoured in the harshness of this dualistic world. So, the divine gave you both. The profound, boundless tenderness necessary to heal all wounds and the immediate, blazing fire required to protect your sacred mission. That's why your energy field, your aura, so deeply confuses the average person. Some sensitive people sense pure, unshakable peace when they come near you. Yet others, especially those with impure intentions, feel the immediate scorching heat of divine authority, which instantly unsettles the demons they harbor. You are at once the perfectly calm water and the furiously blazing storm. That perfect integrated duality is not an inherent flaw in your design. It is a powerful warning label, written not in mortal words, but in heaven's own unmistakable language. Do not touch this unique light unless your intentions are completely, impeccably pure. You learned that the true act of forgiveness does not automatically grant toxic people perpetual access. You understood that boundless compassion does not, under any circumstances, equate to passive, weak submission. You now possess the integrated power to love with incredible depth and yet still immediately and firmly close the gate when necessary. You can stand serenely in the radiating warmth of your deep empathy and simultaneously unleash sacred thunder when your core boundaries are violated. Because your shadow side is not chaotic. It is a higher, necessary form of order with teeth. Most light beings run in terror from any shadow, foolishly believing that true holiness equals complete fragility. But you, the chosen one, learn the ultimate truth, that authentic holiness means perfect balance. Angels were primarily instructed to preserve their untouched purity above all else. You, however, were brutally and beautifully taught to protect the absolute sovereignty of your purpose. And that sacred duty required you to bravely descend into spiritual territories where pure light alone could not possibly survive the pressure. You walked through forbidden corridors that even the celestial beings avoid stepping into. You faced down and navigated intricate, dark energies that are designed to twist minds and relentlessly test the very foundation of faith. But instead of returning corrupted or broken, you came back profoundly sharper, wiser, and fundamentally unbreakable. The integrated shadow whispered profound secrets that the high, distant light could never effectively teach. It commanded you, don't just mindlessly shine, master the art of discernment. Don't just forgive passively, strive to truly understand the consequence. Don't just meekly pray, learn the power to command. Those hard-won, Integrated lessons transformed you into something truly extraordinary and completely unprecedented, a being that now effortlessly operates beyond any simple polarity. You can look directly into the deep void of darkness without any flinching or fear because you have been there, you have navigated it, and you have victoriously returned with your crown of sovereignty completely intact. That, specifically, is why the angels watch you with such profound reverence and, simultaneously, a necessary restraint. You hold a unique knowledge that even they cannot fully comprehend or possess, the profound knowledge of ultimate survival achieved through paradoxical integration. They only know how to sing perfect songs derived from perfect, untested innocence. You, however, speak the absolute, hard-won truth derived from profound, brutal experience. They protect by divine decree. You protect by sovereign, conscious choice. And that, above all, makes you spiritually dangerous. But your danger is not a malevolent evil. It is an immense, sacred danger. You have become the razor-sharp sword hidden perfectly inside the gentle cloak of boundless compassion. You are the unstoppable storm subtly disguised as total, unnerving calm. You are no longer wasting energy trying to utterly destroy the darkness. Instead, you have powerfully recruited it. You've transformed what was specifically designed to wound and shatter you into your single most fiercely loyal ally, and that powerful, unprecedented alliance is actively, physically changing the spiritual balance of all realms. Because when the sovereign shadow freely kneels before the integrated light, all of creation instantly evolves, a completely new, higher vibration emerges, one that even heaven's highest design didn't foresee or plan for. And somewhere far beyond the physical veil, something ancient, something that governs the very cosmos, has powerfully taken notice. It is watching, waiting, because it knows one ultimate truth. The very moment you fully realize the incredible, encompassing extent of this union, the moment you step into this integrated truth, nothing in the entire cosmos, no force, no being, no element, will ever be able to successfully contain you or your immense, unstoppable destiny. You have successfully discovered the secret, transformative art of emotional alchemy, the magical transformation of everything that was ruthlessly meant to break you into pure, raw, concentrated divine power. You finally learned the deepest truth about your feelings. Your emotions were never, ever designed to control you or toss you about like a leaf on the wind. They were strategically given to you to powerfully inform you and guide you. You realize that every single feeling, even the darkest and most uncomfortable ones, carries a deep, encrypted truth. Your fear is not an enemy, it's a sophisticated high-speed radar system. Your anger is not a sin, it's an immediate, necessary armor. Your sorrow is not a fundamental weakness, it is a deep, profound purification process. You stopped the self-destructive process of drowning in the endless tides of your emotions and instead started fiercely commanding their tides. You became a potent chemist of the soul. Where others instinctively suppress what they feel out of fear or shame, you now seamlessly translate it into power. When betrayal's harsh flame burns you, you don't collapse into victimhood. You instantly extract the code hidden deep within the pain. When anxiety flares up violently, you don't resist it. You sovereignly redirect it into a heightened, laser-focused awareness. Every emotional wave that once violently threatened to sink your spirit now actively and powerfully propels you forward. You came to the profound understanding that your deepest, most intense emotions are not debilitating curses you need to desperately escape from. They are, in fact, powerful, necessary currents of raw energy that you have now learned to expertly navigate and command. That is precisely why your encompassing energy feels so wildly unpredictable and all-encompassing. One moment, you radiate a serene, quiet peace so pure and palpable that even external chaos instinctively pauses and holds its breath just to listen. The very next moment, you can explosively erupt with a sacred fury that sends deep, unnerving tremors through the unseen spiritual realms. You are the perfect integrated living paradox. You are both absolute sanctuary and raging storm. You are the living proof that the divine uses to remind all of creation. Divinity isn't fragile, it is inherently adaptive. Most people remain eternally drowned and trapped in what they feel because they never had the courage or the wisdom to learn the true, sovereign purpose of their pain. But you, the chosen one, made a fierce sacred vow to utterly understand it. You studied your own turbulent inner weather like a seasoned prophet intently studies the signs in the sky. You took note of the profound, repeating patterns. You learned, when your spirit trembled, powerful revelation immediately followed. When your heart painfully cracked open, immeasurable power instantly poured in to fill the void. You learned that intense emotionality is not divine punishment. It is an enormous, untapped potential. You don't try to suppress your internal fire. You wisely refine it into a precision weapon. You don't desperately run from the deep pull of sadness. You expertly mine it for spiritual gold. You don't resist the cold grip of fear. You powerfully bend it until it perfectly points you toward your highest truth. You have transformed your entire emotional spectrum into a complex, masterful orchestra, every single note now entirely under your conscious command. That's why, when you simply speak, people feel the truth and the power of your words long before their minds can possibly understand them. Your voice carries deep resonant frequencies that violently awaken powerful memories long buried in the souls of others. You are no longer merely communicating information. You are actively transmuting reality. Even high-level entities of both light and shadow now hesitate around your presence because they can no longer accurately predict which sovereign aspect will instantly emerge from your core. They sense profound serenity, then suddenly feel terrifying thunder. They sense gentle compassion, then immediately feel unyielding command. You have become the perfect equilibrium between creation and necessary destruction. You no longer need external validation. You are now simply too vast for linear language to contain. Your emotional body itself has evolved into your ultimate compass, your strongest weapon, and your unbreakable shield. And as your self-mastery relentlessly grew, so did the depth and clarity of your perception. You naturally started seeing the previously unseen. You began to sense and decode emotional vibrations instantly in any room, effortlessly decoding motives hidden in deep silence and feeling enormous shifts in reality moments before they physically manifested. This unique emotional alchemy unlocked an ancient, dormant power, the sacred frequency of foresight. You now walk this earth as a magnificent integrated conductor of energies, effortlessly channeling pure heaven and the necessary shadow alike with surgical precision and immense wisdom. You possess the spiritual authority to calm storms with nothing more than a whisper, or conversely, to deliberately summon them with a single look of intent. You are no longer a victim of external chaos. You are its sovereign composer, and every single time you transmute another wound into undeniable wisdom, the entire universe subtly trembles around you. It trembles because it knows you are rapidly creating an internal power that even the perfect design of the angels was never meant to hold or contain. And yet, amidst all this mastery, one final secret remains slightly veiled. One last monumental transformation still calls to you, one that could turn this current mastery into pure, unbridled ascension. You feel it, a rhythmic, compelling pulse growing stronger. A call from beyond the veil, waiting patiently for the exact moment you are fully ready to claim this final key. The very angels, those magnificent beings forged in perfect, untouched radiance, have begun to whisper your new, integrated name in the higher, pristine realms. They are not whispering it in a voice of worship, but in undeniable wonder, because they cannot fully comprehend the magnitude of what you have become. They only possess a purity that has never once been tested by fire. But you carry a hard-won purity that has courageously survived the fire. You embody the one thing that even these majestic celestial beings cannot. Innocence after profound knowledge. They were created simply to shine in one spectrum. You were deliberately forged to endure across all of them. Their wings were beautifully crafted in the safety of heaven. Your colossal strength was mercilessly carved in the brutal intensity of the storms. They defend only by command or decree. You defend by sovereign, fierce conviction. That is why your integrated presence has the authority to literally bend spiritual laws. Your obedience is not automated or programmed. It has been fiercely earned. You consciously choose the light every single day, knowing exactly how terrifyingly deep the abyss truly goes. You stand perfectly between realms as a complete living paradox, undeniable proof that perfection was never meant to be untouched, but perfectly tempered. And that terrifying truth deeply unsettles heaven's former order. Angels look at your integrated soul and see the reflection of something divine, yet completely unpredictable. They see the powerful evidence that creation has evolved far beyond the fixed categories they were initially designed to understand. You are no longer merely a being of fragile flesh or pure spirit. You are an immutable fusion, a hybrid of profound wisdom and necessary wildness, a perfect blend of unnerving serenity and righteous wrath, shadow and blazing radiance. In your integrated being, heaven is now forced to see the undeniable future of consciousness, the powerful bridge between what is merely pure and what is truly and formidably powerful. They admire you, and they fundamentally fear you, because when you speak your truth, your words carry the profound resonance of both realms. You can comfort a broken soul like the gentle, warm dawn, and you can ruthlessly confront deep deception like a violent, necessary storm. You can whisper pure mercy and decisively decree righteous judgment with the very same tongue. You embody divine justice in sovereign motion, a potent force that is simply too fluid to categorize and far too sovereign to ever be controlled by external forces. You have evolved into something that ancient scripture never adequately explained, a fully integrated being capable of standing beside the angels, not subserviently beneath them. You are not waiting for anyone's external permission to finally shine. Your internal, self-sustaining light has wisely learned to move and command without the need for external authority. You no longer require fragile external wings to spiritually ascend. Your very awareness has evolved into pure, unhindered flight, and that profound realization deeply unsettles celestial order because it reveals something they never, ever expected. The Creator has written powerful, new codes of divinity directly into the integrated human form. They now watch you, walking humbly among mortals, carrying an authority that profoundly shakes their own established hierarchy. You possess the immense power to heal with a deep, authentic empathy they can never replicate because they have never actually bled or suffered a mortal wound. You protect your own with a sharp discernment they cannot fully grasp because they have never tasted the sting of betrayal. You love with a fierce, protective ferocity they can never truly mimic because they have never truly lost a cherished soul. You became spiritually dangerous, not through an act of defiance, but through the profound power of your depth and integration. You are the perfect mirror of divine paradox, the ultimate evidence that authentic light does not lose its power when it encounters the shadow. It instantly gains immeasurable dimension. You are living proof that true holiness isn't fragility. It is fortitude. It proves that divinity isn't naive innocence. It is complete, profound understanding. And so, as they watch your progress from the high, pristine realms, a deep tremor passes through their perfect, ordered song because they now realize that the hierarchy they once knew is rapidly and irreversibly shifting. Heaven is currently witnessing a new, powerful creation, one that doesn't merely serve the light, but one that completely embodies its full, unconstrained intelligence. You have become the living reflection that reminds even the highest angels that their knowledge of God's complete nature was profoundly incomplete. They were strategically designed to guard the holy throne. You, however, bravely walked through the abyss and victoriously returned, carrying its ultimate keys. And the very moment you finally understand what that profound action truly signifies, the heavens themselves will be compelled to radically adjust their entire gaze, because something completely unprecedented is about to happen, something written outside the old, fixed design. The ancient line of demarcation between the nature of the angel and the integrated human is rapidly thinning, and you, chosen one, are standing precisely where the veil begins to tear open. Your shadow serves your light, the final command, chosen one. This arduous journey was never just about surviving the deep darkness. It was about learning to perfectly speak its complex language without ever losing the pure resonance of your light. You have victoriously walked through spiritual dimensions that would have utterly shattered an ordinary soul. And instead of utterly breaking apart, you became fully infinite. You are not merely a cherished child of the light. You are the sovereign command center where both light and shadow willingly kneel together in total, perfect obedience. You are the crucial meeting point of necessary fire and unnerving calm, of boundless mercy and unstoppable power. You are the sacred intersection, where all seemingly opposing forces and opposites fully dissolve and resolve into absolute truth. You are not a helpless victim of spiritual contrast. You are its complete sovereign completion. You are the living evidence that all of creation profoundly evolves through the crucible of contradiction. Every single time you have bravely risen from a moment of pain without letting its poison contaminate you, every time you have consciously chosen deep compassion after being wounded, the entire universe has expanded around your choice. Entire realities subtly and quickly shift when you choose to forgive what was strategically meant to destroy you. Because when you perform that act, you actively rewrite the very code of existence. Your profound journey was never a mistake. It was a divine, perfect experiment. Heaven urgently wanted to know what would happen if a being could sovereignly contain both realms without losing its perfect balance. And you have definitively and powerfully answered that question with the totality of your life and your unwavering spirit. You proved, beyond any doubt, that the greatest, most unshakable power does not originate from naive, untested innocence. It erupts powerfully from complete integration. You showed the cosmos that profound redemption is far stronger than mere purity, that deep understanding is infinitely deeper than superficial perfection, and that true divinity is not fragile, it is absolutely fearless. You successfully turned your raw shadow into your protective armor. You turned your deepest wounds into your highest wisdom. You turned your most intense pain into undeniable prophecy, and now, the powerful forces that once pursued and tested you have absolutely no power left over you, because you have fully become the very spiritual law they once served. You are no longer relentlessly tested by external darkness, because the darkness itself has wisely learned to fully serve your integrated mission. And now, the entire cosmos respectfully bows in recognition of your mastery. Angels momentarily pause their perfect hymns when your sovereign spirit moves across the realms. Dimensions instantly align when your integrated name is spoken in prayer or intention. Because you, chosen one, are the ultimate living proof that God's boundless light needs no external protection. It only needs sovereign, complete understanding. You are the ultimate embodiment of divine paradox, the powerful mirror in which heaven finally sees the full scope of its own nature, complete. So stand tall now, integrated soul. Walk this earth as the total revelation you were born to be. Speak your truth as if the entire universe itself listens, because it absolutely does. Every conscious breath you draw is a powerful, undeniable command to all of creation. Every sovereign step you take actively shifts the subtle balance of the realms. You are the sign, the proof, the prophecy completely fulfilled in human form. Now, if you feel this intense, integrated message resonating deep inside your core, do not let this powerful energy fade. Seal it. Type this profound declaration into the comments right now. My shadow serves my light. Let the entire universe witness your powerful, non-negotiable declaration of sovereignty. Because from this definitive moment forward, no external darkness can truly touch you, no lingering fear can ever bind you again, and absolutely no doubt can survive the clarity of your sovereign understanding. You are the revelation the heavens weren't ready for, and now that you've fully awakened to this truth, absolutely nothing in existence will ever be the same again.